محمد عليه السلام صلاة تدوم وتهدى إليه ممر الليالي وطول الدوام اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد عليه السلام صلاة تدوم وتهدى إليه ممر الليالي وطول الدوام اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد عليه السلام صلاة تدوم وتهدى إليه ممر ليالي وطول الدوام محمد رسول الله حركتنا الصحبة خير في جميع.
Our path is a path of the word of God. And we ask our Grand Sheikh and all the friends of God and all the spiritual power station of the heavenly spheres for their support. And we ask for inspiration that they shall give us what we are in need of, and that they actually make us understand what we actually have to understand. This is a sohbet speech and a coming together with the Sheikh, a congregation with the Sheikh, with our Grand Sheikh. And here you will find and you will get what you won't get outside of here. And what you will get and what you got from outside, don't take it inside here. Everything in here has to stay pure. So many people, he says, are on the wrong path. And the worse it gets in this world, they actually ask for more of this world. But this materialistic world is about to go down fast. And the path of the materialistic world is actually going into a ditch. And if you cling on to that, into this materialistic world, will be taken down into that ditch and into the abyss, and the gravity will take it down. So when you cling on to it, you will fall down as well. And those who understood, some people in this world understood in their hearts of hearts that this materialistic world will only destroy you. And they're looking for spirituality, for a spiritual way to hold on to, for a rope that is a heavenly rope and leads up to the heavens, where they can actually hold on to. And there are so many spiritual centers offering just that and telling you, come to me. And they are all going from door to door to door.
Ohne einen Maßstab.
Without having any measure, you will get lost.
Du musst einen
You need to have a measure when you're looking for something.
das, was du suchst, wie muss es aussehen?
How does that what you're looking for, how does it has to look like? How has it to be?
Du musst schon eine Vorstellung.
And you have to have some kind of imagination, a vision, so to speak.
Ein wahrhaftiges spirituelles Center
A true spiritual center
muss dir lehren,
has to teach you
Selbstbeherrschung.
to learn self-control.
Lehre der Selbstbeherrschung existiert
Wherever there is no
keine
teaching of self-control, there is no spirituality.
Das ist eine harte Training.
And that is a very hard training for us.
Wo in einem spirituelles Center, wie sich nennt,
In a spiritual center that claim to be one,
Zentrum, aber da gibt es
but
keine Lehre
there is no teaching, no hints, no training
der Selbstbeherrschung.
in self-control.
Da hast du nichts zu suchen.
You better get out.
Etwas suchst.
And if you're looking for something, you won't find anything there.
Was ist das?
So what is self-control?
Eine Selbstbeherrschung bedeutet,
Self-control means the control that you have control over your own ego.
unbekannte großer Philosoph,
And that's why a very great unknown philosopher said, whoever is in control
gelernt hat,
of your own
zu beherrschen,
will be in control of everything else. So those who can control their own ego can take control over others' egos. As he has been given a certain letter, a letter of mastery, because you learn to master yourself and you can teach others to learn that self-control as well.
ein Muster.
So you actually became the prototype.
Kein Ego
So
fighting ist,
a place where there is no ego fighting,
Lehre über
where there is no teaching about taking control of your ego, there actually is nothing.
rumgelaufen, durch die Türen rumgelaufen.
And you may have walked through so many doors but still have gotten nowhere. And you have paid a lot for that in so many ways.
Allah erschuf das Ego,
Allah created the ego
erstes und
and as a first thing, and he told it, come to me.
das Ego
And the ego
sagte,
said,
komm du,
you come to me.
denk nicht, dass
So don't think the ego is such an easy thing, and it's just a play. You are not allowed to play with the ego.
Ego kontrolliert.
You have to control your ego, because once you start to play with your ego, you will actually turn into a toy in the hands of your ego, without you even realizing what happened. So see, the Lord of all worlds and of heavens and of all seas and all egos,
Ego erschaffen,
when he created that ego,
befohlen, komm,
he ordered it, come to me, to his direction.
sich widersetzt gegen
And it was going against the Lord.
alle Geschöpfe. Was für
All creatures, and of all creatures, is that courage?
was ist das für ein Wagemut?
But it's actually stupid courage. It's actually dumbfound courage.
Aha. Allah erschuf
So Allah created
eine schwarze Hölle,
a dark hell,
ein
and he ordered, put it in there. There's a dark flame,
1000 Jahre.
and it stayed there for thousands of years, 1,000 heavenly years.
Tag des Himmels,
One day in heavens is 1,000 years on earth. Once it got out,
wieder
he told it again, come.
das Ego
And the ego replied,
frisch aus der Hölle,
fresh from hell,
sagte, komm du.
said, you come. Okay.
Allah erschaffte das weiße Hölle,
So Allah created the white hell, which is coldness.
1000 Jahre.
And it stayed there for 1,000 heavenly years.
Raus,
Once it got out,
komm, sagte der Herr.
come, the Lord said.
Ego,
And the ego didn't learn anything,
viel Feuer am
no many how much flames and fire it had at its ass. You come, it answered.
rein
So well,
in das rote Feuer.
send it into the red fire. Is it red or yellow fire? It doesn't matter.
1000 Jahre,
So it stayed there 1,000 heavenly years.
1000 Jahre. Und sagte wieder,
And then once it came out, he ordered it, come. And it still didn't learn anything.
komm du, sagte
You come, it said. Okay.
gut,
Well,
bindet ihn an einen Baum,
so now tie it to a tree and let it start to have hunger and thirst. And through fasting, hunger and thirst, the ego got weak and weaker and even weaker, so weak, and it was done. And then the Lord said, come.
ja, ich will ja, aber wie, sagte
And the ego said, yes, I want to come, but how?
er, schwach.
I'm so weak, oh my Lord.
Das ist eines der Geheimnisse
This is one of the secrets of fasting,
des Ego schwach.
to make the ego weak.
Warum haben wir das erzählt?
So why did we tell you this?
Dass ihr ein
This is for you
Idee habt,
to get a glimpse of an idea
ein
what a monster your ego is.
Widerstand
It's so defiant
und schwer,
and it's so hard
Themen
to tame
zügeln,
and to get control of it and to even rule over it. The Lord had to do so much to make it tame.
hätte auch so machen können.
He just could have done like this with a wink of a hand, it would have been gone, but he's actually giving us an example
Dass man schwierig ist,
that it's very hard with your ego and that you shouldn't play with your ego.
man müsste selbst zum Spiel
Because you're just going to be turned around it. You're going to be the toy of your ego.
auch nicht frei laufen,
So don't let it roam freely anyways. But how?
bis du gelernt hast,
Until you've learned,
musst du jemanden gefunden haben,
you have to have found someone that actually can do that already.
bei der Reiterschule.
Just like when you're at a horse school and you have someone to help you. And you need to find someone who's actually a trainer of a horse. You need someone who teaches you how to take control of your own animal and how to actually train it. The ego, what you yourself cannot do, that you let it be trained.
Und wenn das Ego erzogen ist,
And once the ego is trained properly, he will give it back to you because it's already trained, so don't be worried.
du kannst auch bis zum Reiten.
You can even start to write on it.
Und die zwei größten
And-
schönsten Eigenschaften des Egos,
And the two
das
greatest
einem sehr schwer machen,
characteristics of the ego that make life so hard are
Nefsi hayvani, şehva, gadab, nefsi gadabi, also das
which
Traum des
means the rage of the
Egos,
ego,
auf der Seite des Egos,
that raging part of your ego.
hier.
Actually, that is anger.
Wutausfälle des Egos.
So those raging fists of the ego, but the other one are the desires, the lust of the ego.
Diese gefährlichen Kräften des
Those
Egos
two
machen den Menschen
dangerous strengths and powers of the ego make the human being so weak
und wenn man
and destroys everything.
schnell Verstand
And if you haven't understood quickly, it will also destroy your life, not only here but in hereafter. That all your your future is gone, is lost.
Aber der Mensch
But the human being
will das nicht verstanden haben.
doesn't want to have understood,
Spielereien
doesn't
und Abenteuer haben.
still insists on their plays and adventures has. So well, go on.
Nur zwei Richtungen.
Well then, the hereafter there's only hell or paradise. Hell is the dark side of it,
Der Zukunft.
of your future to come, and paradise is the light side of your future.
Der eine Weg führt
One path will lead you
zu einem Ort
to a place
des Unglücks
of
und der andere Weg
bad luck,
führt zu einem Ort des Glücks.
and the other path will get you to everlasting joy.
Wenn du dein Glück hier suchst,
If you're looking for your luck in this life, as long as before you leave this, and you're trying to get as happy in this life, you will be unhappy in the hereafter, because that's actually you destined it yourself, as you decided on that future yourself. If you're looking for your
was es kostet,
happiness in this world, and no matter what it costs you,
interessant, unwichtig,
all the laws and unrulings, no matter what, I allow myself to permit myself everything there is in this life to try to get happy here without permission of God,
wird auf ewig
will forever and everlasting be unhappy in the hereafter. That's the deal. So if you try to get happy illegally in this life, you become legally unhappy in the next.
eine Warnung,
And this is a warning for you, and the Lord tells you that. And He tells you before anything happens, so that you know. So what is my destiny? You decide about your own destiny. As there are those two paths that will get you to your hereafter. And it's your choice.
O ihr Gläubigen,
So, oh you believers, oh you human beings that are looking for spirituality,
schaut,
look,
wo, in welcher Ort man das
and in what place you can find such a human being, such a trainer
Ego zähmen kann
that can actually tame the ego and train it,
und der dir lehrt,
that will teach you about your own wild animal, your ego, and to learn to control it actually, that teaches you how to actually learn to control yourself, to have self-control,
herrschen
which means to control your ego, to control your anger, your rage, to control your desires, and to actually control them, and that there is nothing, not to let them do anything that's not permissible, that's not allowed.
ganz
And you keep it tight in your hand, that the reins of your ego are in your hands, and never let it go, that it actually wanders off and do illegal things like incest
Sachen macht.
and the stupid things.
Ego-Explosion
The ego explosions come from
Zusammenbrüche kommen von
all those when you're having tantrums
Aktionen
or depression and aggressions. They all come
des Egos,
from the anger, from the raging part of your ego, and from that raging part of your ego. And if you don't learn to control it,
aus dir etwas
you will turn into something
Tolles, Gütiges.
that is like lost and like goes wild like rabies.
Mit so einem tollwütigen
And what do you have to do with something that's gotten rabies?
einzige.
And you have to put it back into quarantine.
Und wenn sich das dann nicht mehr retten kann,
And if it cannot get,
niemand anderen aber auch Bescheid.
and if you still cannot heal that and rescue that, save it, but that at least it didn't take down anybody else. And Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, peace be upon him,
Wenn ich mit einem Schwert
the hero is the one
10 Köpfe gleichzeitig
that
hier
cannot
fallen
cut
lässt,
off
sondern
10 heads at
selber
once,
sein Zorn
but actually is the one who's got tight control over their own rage,
wieder hineinschlucken.
that actually can swallow their own rage, and that doesn't actually spout anger and doesn't explode into others' faces. That is an actual hero that can have control over themselves, over that rage. That's what you call a hero. So, and if you have a female, it's a heroine. So, fists of rage are the most dangerous, our Grand Sheikh told us. Very dangerous. And there are also those people that are really quiet and don't do anything against anybody, but in everybody. You've got rage in everyone. And some could hide their rage very very good. And it might need a little glitch, like, and suddenly they burst and then they say, no, this wasn't me, that's not me. It can't be that I'm such a being, such a wild beast that is so eager to bite down everyone. No, I'm not. But it was always there, but it was hidden quite well. And the Sheikh, a true Sheikh, a true spiritual center where there is a true master is there. A true spiritual education always involves the ego and starts with the ego and ends with the education and the training of the ego. That's what a spiritual center is for. Everything that's allowed, that's a lie, it's charlatanery. It's just like an ox where when you were blindfolded but still you're walking for it, and you're going around like in a mill, and the ox thinks, oh, I walked a lot, but you went wrong. But the ox still stayed an ox. And in the end, it will all lead to the slaughterhouse. Are you looking for a spiritual center where you will learn spirituality without the training of your ego, without training any self-control? There is no spiritual training anyways. For you to actually learn to play with electricity, you have to go through training. And you have to enter a professional center where there actually are electricians working there, that you don't touch electricity with your tongue because it's just going to taste bitter to you. And it's so... And spirituality is the electricity of God. And if you just think you can chant and sing, it's not that easy. And to just buy it, you can't buy yourself spirituality, which is the stupidest thing for you to do. Right on top of it, you have to sell yourself. You have to wager your life. Give me eternity, but here take my lessness. And the best training of your ego doesn't happen in a cave all alone by yourself where there's nobody else. Because if there's nobody there, you cannot sin. And you cannot go down in a raging fit. No, everybody can become a saint because there's nothing there. But the test, the challenge is to stay calm when there's everybody there. And that is, and our Grand Sheikh, Saint Grand Sheikh Naqshband, the pillar of our school, a true retreat and true understanding of your ego is happening within being in the crowd of people, when you have to live with a crowd of people, spend your daily life non-stop with people. in
gar nicht mal so
to have to be with others that you don't quite can understand, that you don't like, that are not sympathetic to you, whose nose you don't like. People you love, it's not a test actually, but to be with people that you don't quite like, that you don't love, that is the test, and that is the challenge.
ohne da
Without
Wutausbruch
getting into a raging fist with them, without having any desires or lust, and to get out there safe, and without having done anything stupid. That's what self-control is about. No, you did good.
tut, dann sagen die Engländer.
You,
Well done.
they say, well done. The angels will say, well done. What a good job, Sheikh. It did really work well for me, Sheikh, as well.
Dann jammert der Schüler.
And then the student will start complaining, Sheikh, my Sheikh, what? The other one was insulting me, and the honor of my ego has been hurt. My honor has been hurt.
Von was deine Würde?
The honor of what has been hurt? Oh, my student,
Mein Selbst
myself, my self-trust. What is self-trust? It's your ego, whatever it may be. Your ego, the honor of your ego doesn't
das Ego hat
exist. The ego doesn't have any honor.
wird ein Tier haben.
What honor does an animal have?
Die Seele hat eine Würde.
The soul's got an honor, not the ego.
Meine, es gibt so etwas nicht, das ist dumm.
If you say that doesn't exist, it's stupid. The Sheikh,
Ja, schon komische Sachen.
the Sheikh does weird things with you.
Das versteckte,
All that's hidden,
egoistische,
the hidden egoistic illnesses,
versteckte Krankheiten des Egos.
the hidden illnesses of the ego, the evil acts of the ego that are sitting down there unconsciously, and he actually takes it out because it's such a fine surgical operation, and
Fleck da geblieben.
as that no one last dark spot has to be left, and he has to take it out with a little heavenly thong, and then he is gonna send one to bang on the other,
Dann weg.
and then
Funky. Oh, du Gläubige,
oh, you believer,
dann weg.
run away.
Funky.
Oh, you devil, get him.
Katz und Maus,
It's like cat and mouse.
lern von denen.
Learn from them.
Bis und wenn
Until,
bei so viel
and when
Provokation
there's so much provocation happening to you in your daily life in the other person,
dann bumm, eine
then
Wutausfall bekommt,
suddenly you explode and there's a raging fist tantrum. So it shows you still haven't learned anything. So Sheikh says, start again at zero until you are ready,
nicht mehr explodiert.
until you don't explode, no matter what happens to you. No more explosions, no more tantrums. There is no more rage
Das dich zum Tollwütigen machen kann.
that can actually turn into a raging fist.
Versteht ihr jetzt die Weisheit?
Do you understand that now? The wisdom behind it all.
Warum
Why
andere immer nerven?
the other person is still getting on your nerves.
Warum
Why
andere immer stört?
the other person is getting in your way.
Warum der andere immer
Why
angreift?
the other person is always attacking you.
Warum der andere immer so
Why the other person is so unlovingly to you and is so unsympathetic towards you, who is a thorn
deine Glückseligkeit?
of your eternal happiness.
Bist du nach der,
So,
bist du nach der
you're looking for,
dann erlaube den Stich der Biene.
if you're looking for the honey, you have to be allowed to sting you.
Und der Meister
And the master, he is actually standing guard
deine Atemzüge.
and is controlling each and one of your breaths you take.
Wahrer Meister
if he is a true master.
Spiritualität, du wolltest Spiritualität.
You wanted to have spirituality, right? You want to have divine closeness in the oceans of love, of divine love, and you want to dive deep into. You have to be trained properly for that and prepared to do so.
Wir trainieren jetzt.
And what we are doing here is training.
Was Allah
Everything that Allah
Liebe erschaffen hat,
has created in His love,
lernen,
you have to learn
lieb zu behandeln.
to actually treat it lovely or accordingly.
Dann lieb zu behandeln. Ahmed,
If you cannot actually love it, but actually treat it lovingly.
mir meine ganze Energie weg. So. Wer müde ist, kann gehen. Ich habe auch ohne euch genug Zuhörer hier. Und das Wichtigste, sagte
And the most important thing our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, first thing, you have to take control of your rage.
die Begierden,
And the lusts, the desires,
die Lustexplosion,
those explosions of lust is on the second line. The most dangerous ones are those raging tantrums, those raging fists, as you do not only harm yourself but others as well.
das ist
And that's what,
die größte
that's the greatest
Hinweis der Propheten,
warning
Propheten. Und
of
sagt,
all the
der
prophets
größte Held
and the
ist der,
friends of Allah.
der seinen Mut
And the greatest hero, he said, that can actually control their rage and can actually swallow it down again. Sayyidina Ali, radiallahu anhu, may his secret be blessed,
des Propheten,
the fourth caliph of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
alle
wasallam,
Heiligen,
and the sultan of all
alle
saints,
Heiligen bekommen ihre
as all their saints get their
über Sayyidina Ali. Er ist
wondrous
der Wunderkräfte,
powers from, they get it from those miraculous powers they get from Sayyidina Ali directly. That's such a great
einer mit Götzen
figure he is. When he once,
der Götzenanbeter,
when he was fighting with a warrior of those that were idolizing, he was fighting him, and he got him to stand down on earth and wanted to cut off his head.
der Götzenanbeter,
But the idolizer was looking at him and started to spit in his face.
bevor getötet
And before he got killed, he spat in his face. And in that instant, when he was about to swing down his sword, let it fall down,
diese Schnelligkeit,
in that instant, his hand started to become like stone and stopped. May we be able to do so as well, to control our hands that fast, to have our movements to control at that instant. And in that instant, his hand stood still,
Feind und
and the enemy laying on the ground didn't know what happened to him. What happened? Why don't you kill me? He asked Sayyidina Ali. I can't kill you, Sayyidina Ali replied.
ich habe den Grund
The reason
für verloren.
for killing you, I lost it. I have no more reason to kill you. Why is it being? I was spitting in your face. Yeah, exactly because of that.
Hätte dich getötet,
I would have killed you before you were spitting in my face. It was my intention to kill you
damit
for Allah,
ein Ungläubiger verschwindet.
so that an unbeliever will vanish from this world that can actually harm a believer.
Damit du nicht keinen anderen
So for you not to harm any other believers, I wanted to have killed you. But you spat in my face. Well, yes,
zweimal mehr töten.
I wanted you to kill me even twice as much as that. Like, no.
Bevor diese Spucke von
Before that spat hit my face,
sich in meinem Herzen nur die Absicht
in my heart, I just had the intention to kill you for Allah, but not for myself. But once you spat in my face, my ego started to come up, and I got angry,
ich gerät in Zorn,
and a rage was rising, and
mich töten.
And I wanted to kill you because of me, because of my rage, because you insulted me, spat in my face. And once I realized that didn't want to kill you for Allah, but for my ego, I stopped my own hand and I ordered it to be petrified, to stand still. Stop, I told it. What is self-control? This is an example for us. Those are great humans with good examples. Great examples for us. So for an authority, now good tidings come. For an authority, nobody's got a right, no normal citizen of this world's got a right to become angry. It's forbidden. So that's first. Rage and anger is forbidden. And to be raging in a fist, that's for animals, but it's forbidden. For us it's forbidden. Only for a few people it's been allowed. Those are the friends of God. There are the trainers of God. They got the heavenly permission to train two-legged animals to become true humans. Their egos to form it into a human being. The ego, that animalistic ego, to turn that into a human being. That's their permission. And they are allowed to show rage. The saints can become angry because their anger is a divine anger. It's not from their own ego. It has nothing to do with their own ego, but it's an ego, it's just an anger of the Lord, of God. And that anger of God, which is a saint is saying, is showing. So for example, when he is scolding you, like saying you did something wrong, which means to scold, and is angry at you, let yourself be angry at you and enjoy that rage towards you. Even enjoy that, because for you that's meant as a purification. Good tidings, breaking news, yes. It gets even better. Oh my goodness. Every angry word or scolding word of the Sheikh is for the student. It's meant to brush down the animalistic parts, the animalistic illnesses, to brush them off. Only the one who's got an heavenly permission over you, so a true master or Sheikh, or a true representative, he is allowed. So let yourself be scolded by him. Nobody else is allowed to has nobody's got a right otherwise to scold somebody else, or to be angry at them, or to be raging at them. It's not allowed. So punishment is that he will punish him by getting him to be destroyed himself, because he was handling them unpermitted, but only the trainer is allowed to do so. His scolding, his angry words are meant as a purification for the student. So now it even gets even better. So who is in a true spiritual center and is being trained by the true spiritual heavenly authority and gets for his sick sides, his ego is being trained. And if the Sheikh is scolding him, is angry at him, and start he will be freed from the scolding of the Lord at Last Judgment Day. So once like at Last Judgment Day, The reason is that Last Judgment Day actually happens in the presence of the Sheikh. Oh, you're Armageddon, you're getting up, you're falling down and everything, and scolding and getting angry by a master. So that's what a Sufi means. So the Sufi is the one that died 1,000 deaths but never died. And they will be freed from the Last Judgment Day because it happened here. For 1,000 times they were resurrected. It's not a resurrection, or there's no reincarnation. There's only a new resurrection. Of the same person with a new understanding. Not like this. They actually went through a certain maturing process, and they had some aha moments. Well, not aha, which means, but aha, which is more polite. If the Sheikh, if he is a true authority of God, a heavenly authority, if he is scolding, is being angry at you, it's meant as a purification of your ego. Just like in a Turkish hammam, Turkish bathroom, they are scrubbing you down with a. It's not like you're being brushed like that, but you're going to be brushed down harshly. And then once you get out, you're going to be shine like a sun. And at the Last Judgment Day, there will be no scolding of the Lord. Because he will say, it's already done, the Sheikh says, because I did it already. And you won't blame yourself in front of all the world population from Adam until now, until end of time, but only inside of Sufiland. Ain't that good news? Breaking news. Ain't that good news? Because the other person also got scolded. Nobody is being ashamed anymore. If you get a scolding as well, you can tell them, on the Last Judgment Day, you will be free. You will be free. And you just go directly into paradise. That is now a live connection. This is what they're telling us right now. Everything is happening here in the presence of the Sheikh, because he is the representative of the Lord on earth. And because all that process of Last Judgment Day is going to happen here in Sufiland, in this, we already got it behind us. In the divine presence. That's why we have to close the circle, because that's the divine presence. And I am the head of class and the microphone.
Ne uyuyorsun lan, adama tercüme etsene. Adama bak. Umutla yanına, sana umutla gelene umutsuzluk verme diyor. Türkçe yorulduysan Kürtçe anlat. Eşleyse mandil suhran egoistmiş.
So, all you people, do you want to go through spiritual development and maturity and get close to Allah, the Lord? The presence of the Lord can only happen in love, in a loving way for all creation, to get towards them in a loving way, because He created them, all of them. And everything that you don't like, look for that. If you want to, you can find the black dot in a white paper, and you can also in return try to find the pure dot, the white dot in a black piece of a sheet of paper. So if there's someone you don't like, still try to find something that is nice to you. Find it, go look for it, and then you will have made it. So not only to bear with it, then to actually carry that weight, and then to get along.
Tragen deine Art.
So
Und der Erfolg
bearing and doing that, and then to getting along, that's with Allah.
dann habt ihr euch vertragen.
And because He is
Abschluss ist
putting a bond between your hearts, and until that it's your part, but after that is His part.
dann lernen zu tragen.
So at first you start to endure, and then you start to carry that weight, and then you actually get along, and then you can enjoy the good parts about everybody else. Those raging fists gone. That's the first thing, because with that there's everything you can do wrong, because there is no raging fist or a distress or a tantrum without losing your mind. Because you don't do that stuff with mind. Because at first you lose your mind. And the mind says, I'm just on vacation now. Do what you want.
Mach deine ganzen Ausflüche.
Do all your explosions, but leave me out of it.
Vulkanausflüche.
I don't like eruptions of any volcanoes. I'm a peaceful being. I'm for world peace.
Der Verstand.
That's what the mind is. As the mind is
Weltfrieden im kleinen Rahmen
is
das
responsible for peace, and which means to have world peace means to have peace among 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, and then eventually 5 people, because world peace means it's the world of our son, because there where we are, that's where our world is, and that's where we should find peace. Only then you can call that world peace, and in the name of world peace.
Ich habe Schnarchen gehört da hinten. Möge Allah uns recht leiten
May Allah give us good guidance,
und dass wir unseren Sheikh nicht schwer machen.
and that we don't make it hard for our Sheikh.
Wenn wir sein Leben nicht schwer machen,
If you don't make his life harder, then he might have a life of his own.
je mehr wir Last
The more burden we take, and the less of a burden we become
Sheikh
for our Sheikh,
mehr Ehre bekommen,
the more honor we will get in return from him as a reward.
mehr wir ihn entlasten,
The more we take away burden from him,
gibt uns die Ehre.
the more honor he dresses us in divine honor. That's how he rewards us. He's paying us.
Je mehr wir ihn aber lassen,
But the more of a burden we are to him, because he will bear with us, he will carry us. He's got understanding,
lässt uns aber niemals fallen.
but he will never let us fall.
Und sagt,
And he says, the honor
ist meine Sache.
is mine,
Ich sage,
for me to carry and to endure you.
Ehre bekommt
Even if you don't get any honor because you are actually a burden, but because I carry you, I'll get the burden. I carry the burden, and I get the reward. And the Lord says, love.
Liebe, sagte ein großer Heiliger,
A great saint once said, love
der Schöpfer, Gott,
all creatures of God in honor of God.
habe ich richtig gesagt? Ja? Ja? Liebe das Geschöpf
Love the creature for the Creator's sake. And maybe I've gotten there.
Anfang damit,
And maybe start with loving
die Mutter,
the next,
der Vater,
the kid,
der Bruder,
the father, the child, the mother, the wife,
den Hund,
the husband, the dog,
die Katze, die
and the cat and the mouse, well, the mouse, no, is out of the house.
Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, 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 Allahümme salli ala nebina Muhammed aleyhisselam salaten tedumu ve tühda ileyhi memerre leyali ve tulet devam. Allahümme salli ve sellim ala nebina Muhammed aleyhisselam salaten tedumu ve tühda ileyhi memere leyali ve tulet devam. Allahümme salli ve sellim ala nebina Muhammed aleyhisselam salaten tedumu ve tühda ileyhi memere leyali ve tulet devam. Allahu Allahu Allah Allahu 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 Allah Allahu 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 Allah Allahu 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 Allah Allahu 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 Allah. Only one Sultan, only one truth. Ihr könnt euch ein Verständnis geben, wenn ihr zornig werdet, ob das dieser
by
Zorn
asking
für
yourself,
Allah
is
ist
that
oder
anger
von
for
euer
Allah
Ego.
or anger for
Es
yourself?
gibt keinen Zorn,
There is no
göttlicher
divine raging
Zornausbruch
fist
mit einem
with you losing your
Nervenzusammenbruch.
nerves.
Wenn ein
If
Nervenzusammenbruch das
what
Volk
follows is you
mit,
losing your nerves,
verfolgt wird, von einem Nervenzusammenbruch. Gefolgt von einem Nervenzusammenbruch, das
this
war dann
means
nicht
it's not
von
from
Gott.
Allah, it's not from God. That's
Das
the
ist dieser
comparison
Vergleich,
that will help you heed what he
sagt
tells
mir
us.
jetzt.
And that is why,
Und deshalb, wenn
if there's a
ein
rage,
Zorn
anger,
zu einem
and it starts to
Zornausbruch
erupt,
kommt, dann
immediately be careful
sofort aufpassen,
and
ob
ask yourself
das
if that is
von
from
dir
yourself
ist
or
oder
from
von
Allah, the
Allah
Lord. If it is for
für
Allah or is
Allah
it for
ist oder
yourself?
für dich ist.
That's how
Deshalb so
we
lernen wir
learn
die
the
Techniken
techniques
und ein Erkenntnis
learn
über
to
uns selbst.
recognize a part of ourselves.
Und das ist
And that is what
die Schule.
the spiritual school, what the school of spirituality
Wo
means.
alles andere, wo man dir alles
When there's a
verspricht für
place
Geld,
that promised you everything for money,
kannst du
it
nur
only
dumm
means
gelaufen
that you
sein.
went all wrong and that went down a foolish,
إلى
stupid
شرف
way.
النبي محمد مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم أصحاب الكرام على ما شاءنا في طريقة النقشبندية العالية خير ساداتنا وسط الفاتحة.